everyone, it's Christine. I feel like we haven't talked in a while, and it's probably because I haven't been doing a lot outside in the garden. I've kind of been biding my time. I've been working with my quail a little bit, setting up some breeding groups with them. We did a quail hatch. I had a couple of fruit trees that I had to plant, so that was really fun having to dig those holes. I didn't take you long on any of those adventures because it was kind of cold and windy outside, and it wasn't really something I was enjoying doing. It was more so just something that needed to get done. But now we're looking into the next week of temperatures being in the double digits, daytime and nighttime. So today was my day to get everything prepped and ready to start planting tomorrow. So I'll be putting all of my tomatoes and my peppers and my cucumbers in the ground, everything that's sprouted. I'm also going to be doing seeding my popcorn into the ground tomorrow, and just keeping my fingers crossed and hoping for the best. Right now I just have a few minutes while our dinner finishes cooking, so I thought I would take you along so you can help me plant my new calendula that I got this year. I have a bunch of calendula that volunteer self-seeded last year. And they're beautiful. They're double orange, double yellow. I just thought that it would be really nice to get, I'm just looking at my package here. I'm wondering what's special about them. I don't think anything was special about them. I just wanted a different variety in my garden. I want to see how they're going to perform, if they'll self-seed just as well as my other ones do. We use a lot of calendula. I want to dry a whole bunch this year. I want to use it in our broths in the winter this coming year. It's just really good for immunity support. It's also good if you dry the flowers. You can make healing oils with the flowers. So it's something that I put on my I want to learn more about list this year. So that means I'm going to need a bunch of it, because I want a bunch of it to work with. I bet I'll make a few mistakes along the way, and that means that I'll have plenty of extra. And calendula is something that the stuff that self-seeded last year is already starting to come up. It will start blooming within the next 4 weeks. The stuff I plant now will continue to bloom right into the fall, especially if I deadhead it. It will just continue to bloom usually until our first frost. So it's something that we are really able to grow in this area. So come along with me to the vegetable garden, and I'll show you the little patch that I have set aside for the calendula. This is what the vegetable garden is looking like these days. We've got the parsley that overwintered. As you can see here, it's actually bolting, and that's fine. I want it to do that this year because I want to collect these seeds. This parsley has done so well in our conditions that I'm hoping that it will make lots and lots of seeds for me this year that I can collect and plant over the winter. I also planted out my chamomile from a little bucket that I've had it in for the last couple of years, and it is loving being in the ground. I also need that to go to seed, so I'm just letting that be. And hopefully this area is going to be, in this little back corner here, it's all going to be chamomile and calendula. That's what I'm leaving this for. I have my strawberry spinaches back here. I think I showed you the last video. The mice ate them. We have managed to deal with our mouse problem now. The cats have been working overtime to help us out with that. So I think it's more under control. We still have some caterpillar issues that I want to get under control before I plant everything else out. So tonight, I just thought I heard a crying child. Again, it's a nice day, so my kids are out running around the neighborhood, but I always try to keep an ear open in case something happens and somebody needs me. Anyway, so I put diatomaceous earth down. Something has been coming in nibbling on my peas here, so I diatomaceous earth down. I did not diatomaceous earth around any of the calendula that's already coming up, or any of the sunflowers that were volunteer sunflowers from last winter either, because I honestly don't care if the bugs eat those. So they're kind of hopefully going to be a distraction for the vegetable garden. If I keep up with the pest control in the vegetable garden, they will hopefully just get discouraged and go elsewhere and eat the flowers. that aren't that big of a deal. So what is kind of special about this corner back here is it used to be where our compost bin went. And I had the bright idea of getting the compost bin out of this garden. I would like to redo our whole compost system, but that's not a project for this year. So I thought, hey, I'll lift that out of the garden. There's gonna be like some dirt and stuff under there. I'll stir it up, it'll be fine. But what actually happened, oh, I did hear somebody crying. All he needed was a little kiss. And then he's off again. So as I was saying, that whole compost bin fiasco was supposed to be easy. So I got the dolly, I went to go move it. Turns out the dolly had flat tires, so that was a whole fun thing. I didn't realize till I was already out of the garden with the compost bin on the dolly. It was a whole thing. Anyway, so I thought, okay, finally got this thing moved, got it up where I'm putting it just for this year. Got back here, started to try to dig up the dirt, and I was like, oh, that's kind of hard. Like, oh, it's rocky. Okay. Yeah, definitely there was a patio slab there underneath just a small layer of dirt. So I was like, oh, great. Okay. Dig up the patio slab, dug up the patio slab. Screenings. Screenings. So I said to my husband that night, I said, why was there a patio slab and screenings under the compost bucket? And why didn't you tell me about it? And he said, well, I forgot that I did such a good job putting the compost bin there. But before this little shed was here, we didn't have a back driveway. So my husband was parking some of his work stuff here. So he'd actually extended the driveway, which I kind of forgot that a little bit of my vegetable garden ended up on his driveway. Now, obviously, I had taken care of the rest of it, which is where the parsley is now. I must have dug those screenings out or something when we built to the vegetable garden. But because the composter was there, those screenings never got dealt with. So it's not the best little plot of land. What I did do is mix some dirt into it. I'll just show you here. So you can see it kind of looks like sad and rocky a little bit compared to the rest of the soil around it in this corner. Underneath the screenings, in theory, there is dirt. So, I didn't take out the screenings. I just mixed them in. I got some topsoil. Oh, hello, kitten. Got some topsoil, put some topsoil down, mixed that in. We had some Pro Mix left. I put a little bit of that in. I stirred in some wood chips, and then I took out a couple scoopfuls of quail manure, mixed that in. So I was going to plant a tomato in this corner, and that's not going to work. It's just not going to be good enough soil, probably for at least a year or two of adding organic matter to that area. So what I'm going to do is I have my bucket here where I've mixed my Pro Mix half and half with a bag of landscape topsoil. I'm going to put a nice thin layer on there on top, and then I'll plant my calendula seeds. Okay, I've got some dirt spread down there now. Not gonna lie, not entirely sure what you guys can see there, but just gonna kind of, oh yeah, okay. Not even gonna mix it in. I'm just gonna do a nice layer on here. It is what it is. And then we've got our calendula seeds. So these are them. They're from West Coast Seeds. They're Calendula zeolites. It's a low-growing calendula, pinky orange flowers. The petals are also edible. You can put them in salads, as well as drying them and using them for all sorts of medicinal purposes. So, let's do it. Woo! I love it. Okay, so I got a couple extra over here. I'm just gonna kind of scatter them towards the middle a little bit. A few extras came out of the first. Perfect. Now we're just gonna put a little bit more of our Pro Mix and topsoil over top of those, and we'll give them a good water, and we'll see how long it takes them to sprout. Everybody Belly's hungry, have to go. I would love it if you could like and subscribe. You can follow along with all of our adventures. I'll definitely be filming, putting everything in the ground tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. Learning right around alongside you guys. So if you never subscribe, you never subscribe. So if I'm ever doing anything and you guys are expert vegetable growers or gardeners and you have any advice for me, you're more than welcome to share that in the comments below as well. I love hearing from you, and that's part of this journey for me, is getting to share in everybody's experiences. So let's do this together, and I'll keep you posted on the calendula. Have a great night.